today's workshop. Welcome to everybody. We have a full house. I really appreciate you for this. I expect others to come in, but without further ado, let me start by thanking the SID sponsors, the founders. I have our association founder partner ICEA here. I have Dr. Sudhir, and I have my corporate founders represented here by Applied Materials. We have Praveen and Arvind here. We have E-Ink. They're not here, but E-Ink's been very closely working with SID India. Sharp, I have Dr. Sudarshan Gulu and team here. Sudarshan, are you there? Yeah. There you are, that corner. And then we have Sensor. So without further ado, I would like to start the program. I invite my first round panelists on the dais, and this is how they utilize. Quickly put, we have three broad sessions. One session focuses on the inaugural and overview. The second focuses on automotive displays. We have industry keynotes on it. We don't have panels because we think a lot more depth sometimes can be added by a dedicated panel presentation. And then we have automotive electronics. Again, very specific curated speakers, content, so that we can actually deliver some knowledge bites back. Really welcome all of you for this, and I would like to start by calling my inaugural leaders on the dais, starting with Rajesh Sharma ji. Rajesh is the Executive Director and India Cellular and Electronics Association. As an industry leader, he's really forged the contours of the mobile, and not just the mobile, but the electronics sector in the country. And it's been a pleasure working with you. I would like to invite Rakesh Srivastava ji, Chief Evangelist, senior fellow, and a wonderful person. I really took his handshake a few minutes back, an hour back, and it was a pleasure taking your handshake, sir. He's been a leader for Nissan, and he's going to be talking about emerging opportunities in automotive electronics and display later in the session. And I would like to invite our government leader here, Tiwary ji. He will give us a perspective of what the government is going to do to catalyze the section. Okay, so cheers on that note. May I invite Rajesh? Can you take the inaugural session?
Thank you, Rashmi. He's the most critical part in display now, it looks like. So display is always fascinating. This is what we see display as it is the human side of electronics, because it gives you touch, feel, and it gives you a sense of connectivity. Without display, I cannot imagine a mobile device without a display. So it will not give that binge which we need for display. So coming back to this, electronic industry has been on a roller coaster ride. We are going up and up. We have started from almost last 7-8 years. We are almost 500% growth in electronics manufacturing. Almost 21 times manufacturing growth in mobile phone. So this journey has started, and we are developing a lot of initiatives how we can deepen the supply chain side of it, so we can bring new innovations into the industry. Because after 140 billion where we are now, the next target is 500 billion. So reaching to 500 billion, we need to work on all aspects of technology, and now we are in a stage where in the lab, when we call the category 2 supply chain, it cuts across all the industries. So it can be used in automotive, it can be used in medical devices, it can be used as in most maybe rudimentary, which we can call it rudimentary, even in the agricultural electronics also. So there also display plays an important part. That's why we're working on this part of the supply chain to build a robust or build a at least takes the next steps toward building a display industry ecosystem in India. We have some grey shoots in display. We are doing large amount of TV display assembly side of it, but we need to go it further. Mobile phone we have just started. Mobile phone also is display assembly is happening. Mr. Tiwary will come and explain that what is the government initiatives which are coming in to help build this display ecosystem in India, which includes display assembly also. And we have the larger for display fab. We have a larger policy under India Semiconductor Mission where we are looking at supporting the fab ecosystem also, and we are hopeful that we will get a fab in India sooner than later. Everyone is working towards it. All the people who are sitting in this room, a lot of them are associated with building that effort. I am seeing a nodding head from Abhijit ji. So I think we are all excited. We are all excited that this will help countries' growth in deepening the electronic supply chain. And display and semiconductor are the two critical part of the supply chain. And now, as we move towards the new generation of auto industry, there also, whether it is EV or the conventional ICE, which we call them technology, the quantum of electronics which we are using in these, whether it is two-wheelers or four-wheelers, are increasing. Means the people who are from the auto industry, they are aware that in 10 years, what is the migration of adoption of electronics into it, and now display is taking over, means in a much larger way. I came back from China yesterday night only, and you see the amount of display they are using in their four-wheelers. It's humongous. I think maybe if you put it on a inches screen, maybe at least one car is using at least not less than 150 inches of display within the car, whether it is dashboard, on the armrests of the seats. The display is going everywhere, and it is more. Why it is happening? I think that is because it's more user friendly. If you have anything on display, it looks more user friendly, and I look forward to the deliberation which happens today. Thank you all again for making your time, being a part of this journey. And as Rashmi said, that our team is increasing day by day. The rooms are getting bigger and bigger. So maybe next time we need to do it in a much bigger room for building this, filling this up. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Rakesh, and I think there's a lot of optimism on how the future will unfold. I would like to invite our next speaker, Rakesh Srivastava. Sir, your audience and your session.
Good afternoon to every one of you, and thank you for your presence for the session. I appreciate the support of Mr. Ashwini, Mr. Rajesh, and Mr. Rashmi. I look forward towards sharing the insights into the automotive space, especially in the area of electronics, auto component, and the opportunities that are available for Make in India. Friends, India is the third largest market, 4.7 million units being sold in terms of volume. In fact, when we are third largest, right, we are a growing market. And I think that's the bigger piece to take away, that while we are moving ahead in terms of volumes, we are also looking forward towards, right, bigger opportunities that are still available to us. Because of the vehicle penetration that's there in India, it's just in the range of around 40 per thousand people. In comparison to the United States of America, as a benchmark, if you take it around, as 890 vehicles per thousand people. The significant factor why we take volumes into consideration is the increase in the ticket size. The average ticket size as of today in India is 9 lakh per vehicle. Vis-a-vis, this was around 6.5 lakhs just during the COVID time, the year of COVID 2020. It's a growth of 38%. This growth in ticket size is largely coming on changes. Changes driven by regulation, especially on safety, transmission, and as well as on emission. Shift of customer preference for SUVs and also for 7-seaters. There is an increasing percentage of EV and hybrid vehicles which is pushing up the ticket size. In addition, the increase in percentage of automatic transmission, moving over to almost at 35% of the vehicles that are sold today in India is automatic transmission, which basically means the electronics is coming into more and more into play compared to what it was earlier in case of manual driving. Customer preference for high level of features, especially in the area of infotainment, navigation, and connectivity. These are the three things where we are talking about the user interface with the vehicle and also of the vehicle interface at the back end with the technology center or the service centers. In our understanding, this will continue to increase, and that is where the opportunity lies for us. In the area of electronics component, the domestic demand that we see stands at around 9.1 billion US dollars, and this is predicted to rise and grow to 63 billion USD by 2032. Demand for vehicles that are manufactured in India and exported, the auto component in that stands at around 1.5 billion US dollars, and this is expected to rise to 10 billion by 2032. Overall, the total exports from India could be in the region of around 20 billion US dollars. The size of the market, domestic plus exports, the opportunity that is available would be in the range of around 78 to 95 billion US dollars. This is an opportunity, and this opportunity is there towards manufacturing India. As the current imports that we see of electronic components in cars is approximately 50%. The strength, the size of the market that we are addressing will have a continuous growth as there is an increasing customer preference and the ability to pay for the features is continuously rising because of the increase in disposable income. The scale for the auto component manufacturing will come from the domestic consumption, but the strength will come from the exports. And exports will play a very, very key focus in the auto component electronics industry. As per the current estimates that we have, the BOM value for auto electronics for the ICE vehicles is 15%, while for the EVs it is 25%. There is a profound customer shift in preference towards connected cars, automotive control, and software-driven cars. This is actually opening up multiple opportunities for manufacturing in India. Some of the items that can be manufactured in India to start with are navigation system, infotainment system, especially over-the-air update software that is becoming very, very profound in terms of vehicle tracking and also in terms of diagnosis of the vehicle. Reverse parking camera with a guide. There's a new feature which is becoming very, very prominent is in-cabin camera. Likability is very, very high, especially by the customers, because it supports the customers, especially in an area where an accident happens, and this becomes a proof towards sustaining or substantially giving an evidence to the police or the insurance companies, right, where the accident happened and what was the cause of the accident. We are seeing another big feature, and that is the instrument cluster. The size is increasing from 3-inch to 10-inch. In addition to the increase in size, it's also taking in the new level of electronics in terms of multifunctional displays. Heads-up display on the windshield. I'll just break away from the dynamics of the display unit or the other features that are gaining prominence, and as all of us are from the electronics industry, the features that are there is electronic power steering. Power seats is gaining prominence. The seat ventilation, the percentage is continuously increasing. From the driver seat, it is moving to passenger and the rear seats now. Lighting, in terms of LED lamps, DRL, and inside ambient lighting. Sunroof and connected electronics, especially in case of display. Right, in terms of ambient lighting becoming very, very profound in terms of in-sealing on the sunroofs. Telematics, engine control units, charger systems, power distribution systems. And in case of EV vehicles, there is a big opportunity lying there in terms of ICCB cables for 2.2 kilowatt charger and 7 to 11 kilowatt charger for domestic installations. Overall, if you have to sum it up, in the area of car electronics, the customer preference is on rise, with most of the features moving in from customer preference of good to have to must to have now. And that basically means that now that most of the vehicles will have these features coming in, because these are the features now which are now becoming must to have. EV is becoming aspirational, and it is now currently driving the changes in the ICE side of the vehicle, because EV is now seen as a benchmark in terms of features, and that is a big change that's happening. There is a challenge for the OEMs, and the challenge for the OEMs is to give more to the customer at a very, very competitive price. The customer continues to seek more and differentiated value. The cost is becoming a key factor, and that brings in opportunity for localization. I'll end my address here to you. We will be available here for any one-on-one insights or support or suggestions that you may see towards the auto industry. Once again, thank you for your presence and appreciate your questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That was wonderfully insightful. And now I would request Mr. Tiwary to please say a few words.
First of all, I would like to thank all of you for being here, and also want to thank SID and IC for organizing this event. This event is mainly focused on the display. And in last slide, Mr. Rakesh has also shown how the electronics requirement in auto is increasing day by day. When I talk about the display, there is two things. One is the fab and the second one is the sub-assembly of the display. So we had already a Semicon India initiative. Under that, we will try to provide the incentive for the display manufacturing, the display cell manufacturing. In Semicon India, we had received some proposals for the display, but some of are not at the technology advanced level, so we had not approved those approvals. But there are still some proposals which are in pipeline, and parallelly we are also going to come up with a new Semicon India initiatives. Under this, when I compare with the first one, we have the fab application, we have the packaging application, we have the compound semiconductor application, but we had not a potential display application. So in this initiative, we will try to focus on the display as well as for the ecosystem, what is required for the semiconductor manufacturing. So we are working on that, and very soon you will see that it will come into the public that the government has approved the scheme for the semiconductor initiative. It is all about that. And the second one is the display assembly. There is already a scheme, the electronics component manufacturing scheme, in which we are providing incentive for the display assembly. Okay, while designing this scheme, we have analyzed not only the electronic sector, we have analyzed all the sectors where the electronics is being used. We have studied auto, we have studied medical, when we have studied strategy, we have studied industrial. But when you will go deep down the electronics components, you will see there are not so much electronics component. वही कैपेसिटर जाएगा, वही रजिस्टर जाएगा, वही पीसीबी होगा, there will be some controller IC. So accordingly we have identified the components. What is the component which are being used across all these sectors, and we had tried to cover all these sectors. When what Mr. Rakesh was saying that for the navigation you want to display, you need a driver. What the component will go on the driver, almost of them are covered. The display, that is covered, and all about the control system, there will be a PCB, there will be some controller, there will be some passive components, there will be some connectors. All these things are covered under this scheme. So we had not focused only the disc, and apart from that, while this designing the scheme, we have also considered two sub-assemblies. One is the display and one is the camera module, and you are seeing that how the use of camera and the display is increasing day by day in the auto sector. If any person want to do the sub-assembly for an auto sector or any sector for a display or a camera, they can take the advantage of a turnover linked incentive under this scheme. And using all these initiatives, we had tried to develop a whole ecosystem for the component ecosystem. So display is one of the part of them, and we have already tried to cover that. And for the semicon point of view, as I have explained that, now our focus is on the display fabrication also. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. So thanks Tiwary sir and the team on the opening notes. Let me go into the program where I want to do the wrap up of the inaugural with a lot of info. So this is not a wrap up, it's actually the start of the program. And I do want to tell you that SID India was created by the founders a couple of years back. I joined them last year. Rakesh, SID management, Ashish, these are only my partners in crime as we try to build together a community. I'm so delighted to see all of you here in just one segment of the display sector. Last 1 year has been a year where we rolled out a number of initiatives. Lately we've been doing one activity, one in-person meeting every quarter with the industry, 1 to 2 engagements with the academia in different parts of the country in person, and we've been doing a batch of webinars to keep the activation of the sector on. The response has been phenomenal. Academia, for example, we would literally have touched close to about 1,000 academic stakeholders over the last 10 months, and we are more or less standardizing on executing short courses as a part of our flagship event in India, which will be held on 4th of September. We'll be having a follow-through at IIT Delhi this time. We will have the short courses on display technology. We have now, when we start looking at our sector, this is an earlier slide, but it does show that the landscape in India was not bad even to start with. We had Applied Materials, Corning, Rockwell, Ariba, SMC in the display supply chain active here. We had the TV display. We had the TV display active here. We had the TV display players present here. We had the mobile players. We have Asim from Vivo here. Samsung, I don't know if Nitin is here or not, but very strong presence. And then we had tech providers like Sharp and Brandfood, EMS like Z-Work and Dixon, and then of course the ecosystem enablers from the academic community. By and large, we have had a great opening start, so to speak. We have been building our visibility across the country, and the presence is now taking a greater thrust. Last month we went to Display Week, and we again had a phenomenal response. There was an India Business Forum. We had leaders from India. We had Tiwary here. We had Soni Singh ji from NMtronics, Ajit from Dixon. A whole bunch of leaders were there as we looked at India at a time when India was anyway in focus. And it was very interesting. I think by and large the world was waiting for the story to unveil. We're going to continue this with the India Display Conference. This is a property which was created by ICEA, slightly renamed this year to align with the global display conference nomenclature that the SID board aligned on. This will happen on September 4th. And I'm sharing this because this is happening at Yashobhumi. Most of the players here will be having some interest to engage with Semicon India 2025. We are an event which is concurrent with it at the same venue on the 4th of September. And we do expect that this is going to be a landmark occasion. I really hope while the government is silent on it, I think they are really driving to see if the next version of the policy, ISM policy, is unveiled around that point of time. Fact is, they have already taken out the ECMS, which was their commitment, and even when that was done, they had said that within a quarter or a few months of that, they will come out with the ISM 2.0 in a logical progression. So this is the next big one online for user, and we'll wait for it to come out. There has been a success on the EMS front. There is clearly green shoots visible on the semiconductor front. Today, display is a major forex drain on the country. It is inevitable that India should look at creating its own display industry. Display assembly is going to happen. I can see the interest from the ecosystem. I can see the support that has been provided for. I can see the interventions that IC is planning to do to make it, make it a reality for the industry. So I think there is a lot of promise and possibilities at this point of time. What IDC promises is, for those of us who join out there, we will have some very interesting keynote presentations. The focus is going to be to build on this format. We would like to minimize on just putting people on a panel. We would like to have a lot of content brought out from the subject matter experts. We would like to actually share very insightful data points on the markets. Today you will hear from one of the leading display analysts in the global world on the display opportunity in India. We have Nikhil from Counterpoint here, and Counterpoint is to take one introduction over for him, is actually taken over the SCC, the name which was seen to track the display supply chain in the country, in the global world. They have been now leading that curve on the data points for display industry for the last few years, and we are really fortunate to have him here. He's also, by the way, Praveen and Arvik, he's also ex-Applied. So we have a few touch points here. We will have over 150 people here in IDC, and we are expecting a very strong foreign contingent also. So it's an opportunity for networking, and we are trying to lay groundwork across 2 days. We have consciously chosen the last day so that we are not going to get, I hate to say it, just ignore me, Tiwary, but we are not disturbed by the PM's day 1. Okay, we will be there on the day 3, and we will have a networking dinner in the evening, and we'll have the short courses at IIT Delhi on the next day, the September 5th. The networking dinner formats are being defined, but we actually will try and provide for some of our key stakeholders opportunity to take discussions in roundtable seatings with specific round-robin manner across the meeting flow, and I think that will be an interesting execution. We will have the display tutorials on September 5th. We're going to try and see if we can add some energy to it with the career fairs and company showcases to add meaning for the children. We have done it last year. Just in Noida when Semicon was happening, we had chosen at that point of time GSET Noida. We had 220 students who attended it. The response was phenomenal. I personally felt the delivery was a little boring, but the response from the children made up for it. The people asking, where can I send my research paper in? The people asking, responding to technical questions when we had the quiz, and winning prizes, showing that they were actually attentive throughout. I think India has tremendous talent and promise out there. We will be having a rough structure for the display conference, which will be flowing across demand, supply chain, which includes AMS, which includes display-specific engagements. We will have something on industrial displays and signages, and we'll have automotive displays as one of the core in that session also. So thank you for joining us for this session. Thanks for the warm start, and we look forward to hosting you again in September at India Display Conference. So over to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rashmi, for your work. And this really sets the tone not only for the future events and also for the industry, as the key takeaways from here is that this is a very large opportunity for India, and also the government is there to support you in your efforts. And on that note, we would like to conclude this session, and I would request Dr. Ashish Sorakhia to kindly be here on the stage and present a little token of gratitude to each of our panelists. I would request Dr. Ashish Sorakhia to present the token of gratitude to Mr. R. Tiwary. And now to Mr. Rakesh Srivastava. So that concludes this session, and we're moving on to the next one now.
Thank you.